Brother, let's talk about the ABG interpretation. ABGs, okay? ABGs here. You have to go three. You have to go through three steps to have it interpreted correctly. First step is the, as I told you, the arrows, the الأسهم. عرفت? Let me write these arrows here. So عندك وشو فوق تحت فوق. That's the first step. That's the very first step that you should go through. Up and down and up, right? So we have up, down, up. This means I'm talking here about the pH and the PaCO2 and the bicarbonate, which is the PHCO3. So if you seen the pH is up, it means alkalosis. Okay. If you seen the PaCO2 down, it means alkalosis. If you seen the HCO3 up, is alkalosis. So you just write this one. This is your algorithm now. So to follow, this is your technique to interpret the thing. Anything aside from that or the other way around, it means acidosis. So if you see in the pH down, it means acidosis. It's not alkalosis anymore. Put in your head that if it's up, up, down, up, easy. Up, down, up. If the pH the other way around, it means acidosis. If the PaCO2 the other way around, it means acid, and so on and so forth. And another thing here, brother, you have to know the normal values for this one. For the pH, the normal range is 7.35 to 7.45. Within this range, it's normal. And for the PaCO2 is 35 to 35, sorry brother, 35 to 45. For the bicarbs is 22 to 26. That's the normal. And you have to go for the mean. What is the mean of the pH? Is 40. We have it 40 here. What is the mean of PaCO2? Is also 40. This one is 7.40, sorry. The mean of bicarbs is 24. All right. So now you know the mean of each thing. So when you know this one, there is in the first step, there is another thing that you should master, which is you have to know what follows the pH. pH is what matters here. You have to know pH goes with the PaCO2 or with the bicarb. If pH plus the PaCO2, we have here a respiratory issue. But if the pH went with the bicarb, we have a metabolic problem. All right. But in case they're both respiratory, or the pH followed both of them, they're at the same arrow, it either up or down, it means we have mixed. Some called mixed or combined. All right, combined. Sorry for my chicken scratches and no handwriting there. Anyway, that's a very first step. The second step that you have to go through is compensation. Compensation. In terms of compensation, you look for the pH. You look first for the pH. If the pH is normal, let's just say A and B and C here. So that's the second step already. If the pH is normal, you're gonna say it's fully compensated. All right, fully compensated. If either PaCO2 or HCO3, if any one of these normal, you're gonna say it's uncompensated. That's a compensation. But if all abnormal, if all the parameters are abnormal here, you're gonna say partially compensated. So if pH is normal, it's fully compensated. If either this one PaCO2 or bicarbs are normal, you have to say, you have to write uncompensated. But if all abnormal, you gonna say partially compensated. It's normal that they're all abnormal because they're trying to compensate. They're sacrificing each other to just get it normal. So you have to say partially compensated. That's the compensation thing. The third and the last thing here is the oxygenation. Oxygenation. All right. For the oxygenation, you have to know the normal values. So if it's 80 to 100, it's normal oxygenation. But if it's 60 to 70, 60 to 79, it's not normal. It's mild. You have mild hypoxemia here. Hypoxemia. If it's 45 to 59, it's already moderate. But if it's below 45, it's already severe. So these are the 3 steps you have to go through to get it interpreted. I think it's clear. Let's go for examples. I have prepared some examples here for you, buddy, so you get it, correctly. So let's go for the where are the examples? Here, the first example. Okay. That's the first example here. Now let me get this one. Where is the one we were talking about here? Okay, let's interpret the first. That's the first example here. Now we have the pH. We go and look for the mean. What's the mean of the pH? Is 7.40, right? 7.40. The mean of this one is 40. The mean of that's the PaO2. I told you the oxygenation about. But for the bicarb, the mean of it's 24. And now we have our algorithm, which is, or the technique, up, down, and up, right? Anything else aside from that, it's not alka. We're talking about acid if it's the other way around, right? يعني إذا ما صار تحت فوق تحت. So here the pH is it the mean we have 7.40. So what does it tell you here? Is it alka or acid? That's the first thing you should tell me. Is it alka or acid? So if it's 40, if it's below 40, the arrow will be down. Don't write the arrows here anymore so you won't get confused. Just write acid and see what follows it if it's acid. And if it's alka, just write alka and then see what could be alka. So you gonna tell me if it's respiratory or metabolic here, right? So now you have the pH. The pH is lower than the normal range. The normal is 7.40. It's below the mean. Okay, if it's below the normal is, I told you, 7.35 to 7.45. That's the normal. But if it's below, it's not normal anymore. So we have the arrow here up. The first arrow is up here. So it's not up anymore. It's below. It's down. The arrow points down, directed down. So it's not alka. It's already acid. You're gonna write acid here, brother. So, and then you gonna see what follows the pH, because the pH what matters here, as I told you a while back. Now the PaCO2, is it up or down? The mean is 40, so it's up. It's 43. It's more than 40. It's not alka. It's not down. It's up. So it's acid also. So now you see the pH followed what? The PaCO2. Now you know the problem is respiratory. It's not metabolic. It's respiratory. Further, to confirm that it's respiratory, go for the HCO3 to know is it really respiratory or combined. Okay, there's no other choice aside from that. Now the HCO3, the arrow tells me up is alka, but this one is down. The mean is 24 here. If it's down, it's 14. It's not alka anymore. It's acid also. So now now we're gonna confirm it's combined because all of them are acid. So now we have it here, acid. That's the first step. you identified already. It's the problem is both. You have it combined. You have respiratory problem and you have metabolic problem, and all of them are acidosis. That's the first thing you should know. Let's go for the compensation. What is the compensation here? Is the pH normal? If the pH normal, we're going to say fully compensated. The pH, the pH is not normal here. Let's check for the PaCO2 and the HCO3. Any of them, could you tell me? There's no normal here. I think the pH here, PaCO2, the normal range is 35 to 45. So the PaCO2 falls under the normal. So either of them is normal here. We have either PaCO2 or HCO3 normal. Sorry, I did not write this normal. If either of them normal, you're going to tell me uncompensated. Now we have uncompensated problem here. So you write first the compensation here. So we have uncompensated. What is the problem here? Is it respiratory or metabolic? It's mixed. So uncompensated, you mixed respi and metabolic acid, meta acid. You're done with the interpretation already. Okay, sorry for my handwriting, brother. You're done already with the interpretation. Now go for the oxygenation. Now we have normal range for the oxygenation. 80 to 100 is normal, so we have 81 here. So normal with normal oxygenation. Okay, that's the first example. Let's go for the second example here. Again, we're going to do the same thing. pH is 7.36, PaCO2 is 62, and PaO2 is 58, and the H bicarbs is 36. Now let's write the mean here so we won't get confused. The mean here is 40. Let me use another color. 40, and the PaCO2, the mean of it's 40 also. We have a normal, we have ranges of this one. So for the bicarb, the mean is 24, as I said a while back. So what's the problem here? Let's check the pH. And we have our arrows. We don't forget this one, up and down and up, right? Here, pH is 36. It's not, the mean is 40. It's below 40, so the arrow is down. If it's this pertains to alka, right? Alka. Anything else aside from this one is acid. So pH here is 7.36. It means it's lower than 40. When it's lower than 40, the arrow means it's down. So when the arrow goes down, you have it not alka anymore, it's acid. You're gonna write acid here. Now we will see what follows the pH. As I said a while back, pH what matters here. So pH follows what? Let's see PaCO2, the carbon. We have a 62. It's really high. If it's never down, it's up. So it's not alka, it's acid. Basically it's acid here. So pH followed here the PaCO2. And now we have respiratory problem, but let's just get it confirmed by checking for the bicarbs, HCO3. Either it's combined or mixed, or nano, or yeah, it could be. We don't have any other choice. Either it's respiratory acidosis or combined. Let's see if it's respiratory acidosis or combined. Let's check it out. HCO3 here is 36 and the mean is 24, so it's up. The arrow is up, so it's alka, right? In this case, this never followed the pH. Now we have respiratory problem. Now we know that it's respiratory acidosis. But let's go for the compensation again. What is the pH normal? Is 36. The mean is the normal range here is 35 to 40. 35 to 45. So it's within the normal range. If it's within the normal range, it's already fully compensated. Now you're going to say fully compensated. The interpretation here is fully compensated. Respiratory, we said the pH followed the PaCO2. Respiratory acid. Let's check the oxygenation. It's 58, and let's check our range. What's the range here? 58 falls between the 45 and the 59. So it's moderate. With moderate hypoxemia. Okay, hypoxemia. That's the second example. Now we have the first example, uncompensated mixed respi and metabolic acidosis with normal oxygenation. The second one, we got fully compensated respiratory acidosis with moderate hypoxemia. Let's go for the third one. It's different, so you get it, you know, you won't get it twisted. The third example here, again, let's do the same thing over and over until you get it. pH here is 7.57. The mean here is 40 again, and 24. So you have your arrow here up and down and up. All right, I just skip this space for the HCO3 so you won't get confused here. So now we have it alka here. Anything aside from that is acid. pH is 7.57. It's really high. It's up. It's more than the mean. If this is the case, we have alka problem or alka issue that we're dealing with. PaCO2 here is 27. The normal range, the mean is 40. It's below the normal. So it's, of course, it's not up. It's down. So it's alkalosis also. It's alka. Let's check the HCO3. Now the pH followed what? The PaCO2. Now we have pH followed the PaCO2. We have respiratory problem. But let's confirm it by checking the bicarbs, HCO3. The normal range for HCO3, the mean is 24. So 24, and then we have it normal here. We have 24, so it's normal. All right, we don't have problem here. It's normal, really normal. So now the pH followed the PaCO2. All right, and the third example. So the first step is accomplished, which is the RC is accomplished. Let's go for the second step, which is the compensation here. Let's look for the pH. Is it normal? No, it's not normal, so it's not fully compensated here. It's not. It doesn't fall below 30 or between or within 35 to 45. It's more than 45 even, so it's not normal. It's never normal here. Let's check for the step B here, which is the PaCO2 or the bicarb. Let's check if either of them is normal. We have uncompensated thing here. Now we see the PaCO2 is 27. It's never normal. The normal range is 35 to 45. So this is not normal. But let's check the bicarbs to confirm if we have uncompensated or partially. So now when we check the HCO3, the bicarb, it's normal. Within the normal range, it's 24. It means it's uncompensated. We're dealing with uncompensated thing. So the interpretation here is uncompensated. We have respiratory problem, yeah? Respiratory. Is it alka or acid? Yeah, it's alka. Respiratory alka. And the oxygenation, now we're going to check again our ranges here. It's 89, so it's normal. 80 to 100 is normal with normal oxygenation. Now notice there's something you should be aware of. If the oxygenation is normal, you just go and write normal oxygenation. If it's not normal, if it's below the normal range, it's already hypoxemia. So you just write with mild or moderate or severe. So that's the second example. Now let's go for the third example here. The third example, now let's write again our mean is for the pH is 7.40 and the PaCO2 is 40, the mean of it, and the bicarb is 24 as always. Now let's have our arrows here, up, down, and up. We have alka. Okay, it means alka. Anything aside from that is acidosis. Let's check the pH. The normal range is 35 to 45. It's never normal either. It's lower than the mean, lower than 40, so it's down. The arrow is down. Don't write the arrow again here to not get confused. Okay, so if it's down, it means not alkalosis, it means acidosis. You just write acid here, acid. For the PaCO2, the normal is 40. That's more than 40, and your arrow is down, so it means it's the other way around. It means it has to be up, which is acid, right? Acid. For the PaO2 we have the ranges. We going back for it. We will go back for that. For the bicarb here, it's 24, right? The normal is 24. That's below the normal. The arrow, if it's up, is alka, but the arrow is not up here, it's down. So we have an acidosis problem here. Okay, we're gonna write acidosis. For example, number 3. Now you have, let's go for the compensation. Okay, let's check for the compensation before we, okay, let's interpret this one. You have pH is acid, and the PaCO2 also acid, and the bicarb is acid. All of them are acidosis. Now we have combined problem or mixed respiratory acidosis. Okay, mixed respiratory and metabolic acidosis. But let's check for the compensation. There's nothing normal actually here. So if there is nothing normal, you just write partially compensated. Okay. And for the oxygenation here, it's 71. That's the range we have here. 71 falls here, 60 to 79. So it's mild hypoxemia we have. So the interpretation will be, you have partially compensated, mixed, either mixed or combined, it's up to you, mixed resp and meta. What is the problem? Acid or alka? Acid, right? You just write acid here. And the oxygenation here, you have 71. We said if it's 71, it falls within the mild hypoxemia. With mild hypoxemia. Okay, that's the interpretation. We only have 2 more to get it done, to have this understood, inshallah. So the third example, pH, again, same thing. pH is 40, PaCO2 is 40 also, and this one is 24. All right, so we have our arrow here, up, down, and up. Okay, pH here is 7.45. If this is 7.45 and the mean is 40, it means the arrow is up. So we're dealing with something with alka, right? Alkalosis. These are alka. I just wrote it again to emphasize that. I know you get it already, I think. How about the PaCO2? It's 28. The normal is 40, so it's down really. So it's alka also, right? Alka. How about the bicarbs here? 24, and this is really 18, so it's down for reals. It's not alka, it's acid. We don't give a damn if it's acid or whatever, as long as it does not follow the pH. So we don't care about the bicarb here. We're dealing with a respiratory problem here. Okay, respiratory problem. We have a respiratory problem here. And now let's go for the compensation. Is the pH normal? You know, if the pH is normal, if it's fully compensated, pH is normal. Why it's normal? Because it falls within the range of 35 here, 7.35 to 7.45. So we have normal issue here. Okay, so that's normal here. So we're gonna say fully compensated, respiratory problem, right? Respiratory alkalosis, because it's alka, right? Respiratory alkalosis. How about the oxygenation? It's 80. We said it's 80 to 100 is normal. So we just gonna write with normal oxygenation, normal O2. Okay, normal oxygenation. Last example. Let's go for the last one here. pH, again, the normal is 40. Here is 40. Here is 24. Okay. So arrow up, down, and up. Again, 32. The normal is 40. It's down. It's never alka. Okay, so it's acid. We're dealing with acidosis here. And the PaCO2 is up. Okay, it's not down. If it's down, it means lower than 40. It's up. It's 52. If it's 50, since it's 52, we're dealing with acidosis, not alkalosis anymore. We're dealing with acidosis. Now, apparently, the pH followed the PaCO2. So we have respiratory problem, but let's confirm it by checking for the bicarb. So the mean for bicarb is 24 here. and we have it here 31. It's up or down? It's more than the mean, so it's up. We're dealing with alkalos. We don't care if you're alka or not, as long as you're not acid, as long as you're not following the pH. I'm talking about this one by car. Now we have what? Let's go for that's the first step, which is the arrows. Okay, you're done with it now. Now you know you have a respiratory problem, which is you have respiratory acidosis problem. Okay, let's get to the compensation. Is this normal? pH normal? It's not normal. 35. It has to be 35. This is 32, so it's not normal. Let's check for either PCO2 or bicarbs. One of them, if one of them is normal, it's not compensated. It's uncompensated, and now we don't have any normality here. All of them are normal here, so it's uncompensated here. But if they're all abnormal, it's partially. It's not uncompensated. It's we check for the we got nothing normal here, brother. So it's partially compensated. Now the compensation will be partially compensated resp acid. What about the oxygenation here? 84 is normal with normal O2 oxygenation. That's it. I hope you got it.